South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this almost weekend Friday Race Day Las Vegas radio program and TV on YouTube, of course. We welcome you to the show. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at the South Point Studios, the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in the gaming capital, of course, and off of the South Point streaming network at YouTube, so you can see and hear us there as well. We welcome you to the show. We welcome all of those listening to us on our anchor radio station here in town, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM, and of course, all of our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global, iPhone, Android, and Google phone. We got you covered there with the apps. If you want to see and hear us, you go to the YouTube app. If you want to hear us through the radio station, you go to the KSHP app, and you can put them on your devices, and off you go. And, of course, anywhere you get to your podcasting as well. We're all over the podcasting world, too. And we welcome you to the show, however, wherever, whenever, to the Race Day show for this Friday, ramping it up for the weekend. Hey, let's take a look at the weather here in Las Vegas. We're already at 86 degrees, 86 outside right now. And we're going to get to the picket fence today, 111. 111 is going to be our high today here in Vegas. So you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it though anyhow. Stay hydrated. Keep that water by you. Keep drinking that water, because if you feel that you're dehydrated, it's going to be too late. Got to stay hydrated. And of course, keep the kids and the pets in. Don't let them stay out too long. In fact, just let them play in the shade and be done with it. And of course, check on the elderly and all the people who have a hard time with the hot weather. Make sure they're okay as well. That's here in Las Vegas. Now, here's what happened. Beautiful opening at Saratoga yesterday. No problem. As far as the weather was concerned, we'll get into the results of the races in just a minute. But the weather was great. But right after the races, an absolute cloudburst of cats and dogs and buckets of rain came down on Saratoga Springs and at Saratoga Racetrack. I saw some of the video, and it was pouring. And I don't mean for 10 minutes. I mean, it was pouring for over a half an hour yesterday. Now, here's what they say today. Believe it or not, they think that the track is going to be in fast conditions. Okay? They say the dirt is going to be fast, the turf course is going to be good. But already, all the races except for the stakes race today, the Coronation Cup, all the other turf races scheduled are already off the turf. They're going to be transferred to the main track. When we get to the menu, I'll go over those races and any of the races that have changed the distance of the race from the turf to the main track. We'll get to that a little bit later. But that's the way it is right now at Saratoga. All right? We're going to take everything but the, I believe it's the seventh race, the Coronation Cup, off the turf today at Saratoga. Overnight rain hit it. Okay? Now, as far as the opening day, we were talking about this before. With them going up to Saratoga for the special Belmont Festival, and then they go back up there for the 4th of July, a 4-day festival there. It takes a little bit of the importance of the anxiousness of opening day at Saratoga. Hasn't been here in such a long time. People want to come out and all that stuff. You know how that goes. Well, hell, they were at Saratoga over the 4th of July weekend, just the week before. So, as a matter of fact, about 3 or 4 days before. In any case, so the opening day at Saratoga for the official opening day yesterday had a decline from last year, and it was expected, okay? So that decline, it was the handle at the track yesterday was down 15.6% from the corresponding handle of the opening day last year. All right, that was expected. However, because of the outcome of some of the races yesterday, and we will get to that momentarily, you have a pick six, a one-day pick six carryover in the pick six today at Saratoga exceeding $118,000. 118 grand. Okay? So, with all that said, let's take a look at what happened yesterday at Saratoga. And you remember that Jonathan Hardoon and myself talked about the old moniker about Saratoga, the old saying, the graveyard of favorites. Okay? First race, Saratoga. The race favorite, Grace Reformed. Lost the jockey. Jockey fell off of the horse during the running of the race. Winner of the first race, Alcaira. Flavian Pratt aboard for Jorge Abreu, paid $9.70. So the favorite went down the drain, lost the jockey. Second race, Flavian Pratt came back and won the early double. Won the second race with Devil in Disguise. George Weaver, the trainer there. Weaver had more than one win yesterday, by the way. That horse paid $3.10. Then we get to the third race. Yep, back in the winner's circle for Flavian Pratt. He won the first three races at Saratoga on opening day. This with Book of Wisdom for Rudy Rodriguez, paying $10.80. We get to the fourth race, and Pratt does not win it. Finally, he gets beat. Big $34.60 winner for Manny Franco. First division of the split division of the De La Rose Stakes, the opening day feature, was the fifth race at a mile on the inner turf there. Deep Satin wins for Jose Ortiz. Sherry DeVoe, the trainer there, paying $6.70, outrunning In Our Time. And Heredia, who finished third. We get to the fourth race. 2-year-old fillies on the turf course at 5.5 furlongs. As they were loading into the starting gate, the favorite flipped and was scratched. So the favorite in the sixth race, a horse called Cooperation, did not cooperate and was scratched at the gate. The favorite, therefore, after that, did not win. The winner there was Cy-Fair. Cy-Fair for George Weaver's second win of the day. John Velasquez aboard, paid $13.40. I can tell you this. Mark this horse down. Cy-Fair won big, won going away on the turf, this 2-year-old filly, this maiden race. Cy-Fair winning the sixth. Seventh race. The favorite in the race, Endorse. They opened the starting gate, stumbled at the start, and lost his rider, Irad Ortiz Jr. The favorite loses the rider for the second time yesterday in the first 7 races. Winner of the race was Lobby Rendezvous for Jose Ortiz, getting his second win of the day, paid $10.80 for his brother. By the way, Jose and Irad broke side by side. Jose was in the 1 hole, Irad was in the 2 hole. So Jose, I guess, probably saw his brother go down on the ground, fell when the horse stumbled out of the starting gate. So the favorite was gone there. So in the first 7 races of the meet, 2 favorites lost their jockey during the running of the race, and the other favorite got scratched in the starting gate, and the favorite that became, after that horse was scratched, didn't win. All right, we get to the 8th race, the De La Rose, the second division of the De La Rose there. Ozara wins big for Dylan Davis, $10.20 for trainer Miguel Clement. Finishing second in the race with Spinning Colors and moving on up. The race favorite finished third. And in the 9th race, Brother Irad stays on his horse and wins with Spiritual Lady at $25.40. Irad Ortiz Jr., $25.40. This was trained by trainer Greg Charlery. Greg Charlery was the trainer. Now, Greg Charlery took over the stable for trainer John Toscano. John Toscano, of course, passed away. He died. So it went to Greg, and this was the first career win for this new trainer, Greg Charlery. John Toscano passed away in April. And so that was a nice victory there for that trainer. Last race winner paid $34.20, and that's how you got to a pick six carryover yesterday. 5 out of 6 paid $5,620. That late pick four, prices of $13.40, $10.80, $10.20, $25.40, and $34.20. That pick five paid $43,026.25 at Saratoga yesterday. And we've only just begun, as the song says, for Saratoga. All righty. Now, we do have some, I do have some late news that came out yesterday that I want to pass along to you. The 2024 Canadian Horse of the Year, Patches O'Houlihan. Now, you remember he won that stakes race about 2 weeks ago now, the Highlander Stakes. And remember, it was on the turf, and turning for home, he started to bear out, and the jockey kept him on the track long enough to get the win in that race, in the that stakes race there. Well, 2024 Canadian Horse of the Year, Patches O'Houlihan, was euthanized 12 days after suffering an injury in winning that race, the Grade 2 Highlander, on the turf course at Woodbine. Patches O'Houlihan euthanized as a result. The announcement by owner-breeder Frank DiGiulio Jr. says, after sustaining a soft tissue injury while galloping out after winning the Highlander Stakes, it was hoped that he would recover well enough to be retired to pasture. However, in the time since then, his prognosis worsened, and they consulted with veterinarians and surgeons on an ongoing basis, and it was determined surgery would not be a viable option for the horse that sustained quality of life. And so they euthanized him. Patches O'Houlihan was a two-time Sovereign Award-winning champion male sprinter, trained by Robert Tiller, ranked among the leading Canadian sprinters of all time. The 5-year-old gelding son of Reload won 13 of 16 races, earned $1,159,540 Canadian money, and he lowered the 5.5 furlong synthetic track record at Woodbine when taking his May 4th season opener in the Thorncliffe Stakes of 102.28. Patches O'Houlihan euthanized. That is a shame. All righty. Okay, we've got, of course, our handicappers coming back, Jonathan Ardoon, Rich Eng, and, of course, John Lindo and Jerry J with us today. We got your racing menu coming up. Taking a look at some of the horses that are preparing for some of the races coming up here, both at Saratoga and at Del Mar. Remember that really impressive 2-year-old winner, Ewing. Well, Ewing is heading for the Saratoga Special on August the 2nd. Mythical, a 2-year-old undefeated filly, goes in the Adirondack on the 3rd of August. So Saratoga Special will be the 2nd of August. The Adirondack will be the 3rd. And as far as the older horses are concerned, Bookham Dano is scheduled to go next in the Alfred Vanderbilt that happens on the 19th of July, coming up soon. And it looks like Sovereignty is heading for the Jim Dandy on the 26th of July. 26th of this month will be the Jim Dandy. It looks like Sovereignty will go in that race, while it looks like Journalism is headed towards the Haskell on the 19th of July as well. So these races are all coming up this month, except for those 2 races for the 2-year-olds. And journalism may very well meet Gosker, who he ran down in the Preakness Stakes when they last saw each other. So we'll wait and see about that. That's going to be good. Those horses and those races coming up. All right, we got a lot to cover on the show, so we'll take our first break, and when we come back, we'll get you to racing menu, and then, of course, our handicappers and their thoughts of what opening day meant at Saratoga for them. As they continue to train around the country in the morning at the racetracks around the country, don't forget, get to YouTube and subscribe, because the YouTube chatters are chatting away, and all you have to do is subscribe, and that's free, too. Don't go away.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos. Join us for one of our biggest nights of the year, California Breeders' Champions Night on July 26th, with a full night of stakes action, with the Governor's Cup Futurity led by the super talented filly, French Valley, plus top qualifier, El Dictator. The Governor's Cup Derby will have a lineup of accomplished runners, plus the ageless Cattail Cove could also be in action. It's the track of sunsets and stars, Los Alamitos Racecourse, California Breeders' Champions Night.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Well, you know it's going to be 111 here in Las Vegas. Always fast, firm, and perfect in the race book. We're playing the races today. Around the country, however, Miami 87, New York 84, Chicago 88. You've got Los Angeles at 85 degrees. And, of course, Phoenix, Arizona, it's only going to be 109. So we're going to be hotter than Phoenix, Arizona today. Wow. How about that? I guess we're the hot spot in the nation. Yes, we are. Looking at the temperatures, we are. Albuquerque's 99. Oklahoma City, 94. Just to take a look at quickly at some of the other temperatures. I guess the lowest temperature is in Minette, 70 degrees up there in the middle of the Midwest there. Okay, anyhow, that's the weather. As far as the precipitation is concerned, all of that rain and all that stuff is gone now. There's really not much to talk about as far as weather concerns at racetracks. And I understand that the morning workouts there at Saratoga, they were actually working on a track that they labeled fast for the main track there at Saratoga. Wow. All right, well, let's get started with the racing menu for today. And we remind you that the first post times we broadcast on this menu each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone because, hey, that's where we're at here in Las Vegas. These will be the first post times that roll out in our racebook here at South Point today. If you are watching or listening to us in time zones around the world, you know what to do. Just adjust from the Pacific time zone to whatever one you're in, then you get it right. You'll tweak it out, and you won't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? We begin with Delaware Park. Delaware Park has a first post time for 7 races set at 9:30 at Delaware Park today. All right? Next comes Balterra Park. Balterra Park has a first post time of 8 races set at 9:35 at Balterra today. And then next comes Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park has a Pick 6 jackpot carryover, the Rainbow Jackpot carryover, $60,521. They've got 9 races today at Gulfstream. First post time is at 9:50. And again, they will have a mandatory payoff, whatever is in that pot, on Sunday. But for today, carryover of 60,000 plus. Woodbine, north of the border. Got 8 races today at Woodbine. You got a carryover in the Super High 5 jackpot of $14,842. You got a pick six jackpot carryover of $14,166. You have 8 races today at Woodbine and a first post time of 10:05. And I've got a Clocker Report pick for you today at Woodbine. How about that? All right, Saratoga's next. Day 2 of the real Saratoga meeting. 10 races today. Here's the deal. The 4th race, off the turf, on the main, and now is scheduled at 1 mile on the main track, the 4th race, from 1 mile and 16th on the turf. We go to the 6th race. This was scheduled at 1 mile on the inner turf course. It's now on the main track and rescheduled at the distance of 7 furlongs. This is for 2-year-old maidens. 6th race, 7 furlongs on the main now. The 7th race, the Coronation Cup, is still scheduled to go at 5.5 furlongs on the Mellon Turf Course. The 9th race, taken off the inner turf course to the main track at the corresponding distance of 1 mile. And the 10th race, taken off the Mellon Turf Course to the main track and from 1 mile and 16th on the turf to 1 mile on the main. Those are the changes as far as the turf to the dirt for today at Saratoga. They have 10 races today and a first post time of 10:10, and the pick six carryover $118,028. $118,028 for the pick six, regular pick six carryover at Saratoga. First post time is at 10:10 at Saratoga. All right, Monmouth Park from the shores of New Jersey. Monmouth Park has a 8-race card today. First post time is 11 a.m. Colonial Downs has 9 races. 3 on the main, 6 on the turf, if they go on the turf at Colonial Downs. So the turf races are races 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The first 3 are on the main track. That's the way it's scheduled right now at Colonial Downs for the first post time of 1 o'clock this afternoon, okay? Penn National. Penn National has a first post time at Penn National for 7 races at 2:45. 2:45 at Penn National today. You've got Evangeline Downs next. Evangeline Downs has 9 races. Their first post time is at 3:30. Charlestown. 8 races today at Charlestown. Their first post time at Charlestown is set at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. at Charlestown today. They got a small pick six jackpot carryover, $2,093. $2,093 in the pick six jackpot at Charlestown. By the way, Colonial Downs has a regular pick six carryover of $7,919. Forgot to tell you about that. Colonial Downs, regular pick six, no jackpot, $7,919. Charlestown, pick six, jackpot carryover, $2,093. 8 races, first post time is at 4 p.m. Then we go to Prairie Meadows. Prairie Meadows has 10 races. The first 3 races of Prairie Meadows will be quarter horses. The last 7 will be thoroughbreds. They have a pick Super High 5 jackpot carryover at Prairie Meadows. Super High 5 jackpot, $29,267. Their pick 5 jackpot carryover is $71,927. First post time at Prairie Meadows at 4 p.m., as well as Charlestown, of course. And Emerald Downs wraps it up. They've got 7 races at Emerald Downs, and a first post time at Emerald Downs today of 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is first post at Emerald Downs. That's your menu for today. Now we're going to go out to Saukey, Saratoga, where Mr. Jonathan Hardoon is standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. It's going to be a little bit hot under the collar here, but boy, I understand that they had an absolute cloudburst that just poured right after the races yesterday at Saratoga, but now the morning workouts, horses are being labeled, the workouts are being labeled fast.
Yeah, I don't know what they did with all that water, but it came down for a solid 45 minutes. It was even howling. It was just crazy weather, and it happened right on top of the track. A lot of times it could be raining a mile away, and, a mile away it's sunny, but that wasn't the case. That storm landed right on top of the racetrack.
Wow. Well, all I can say is it lived up to the old slogan, graveyard of favorites yesterday. That was amazing.
Yeah, A lot of strange things happened. The handle was down and the attendance was down, like you said, but that's because it was their third opening day in about 3 weeks. So kind of took the luster off of it. What was interesting was the amount of money they put in the pick six, Ralph. I can't remember a $118,000 pick six carryover after just one day. And remember, it's $1 bet. It's not a $2 bet. So they really sent it in that pick six. And that's certainly a positive sign.
Well, and the pick six, the last 6 races on the card today with 10 races. The pick six will start in the 5th race. And the 5th race has 6 horses in it. But I can tell you right now, it is a very competitive 6-pack in that one to start out the pick six. And then you got big, bulky fields in the 9th and 10th, although those were bulky fields for turf. And we know what'll happen when they transfer to the main track. You're smiling. Do you have the scratches?
I do. It'll take the rest of the show to give them all out if you want.
Okay, why don't you...
I can run through them if you want, Ralph.
All right, here's what I want you to do. The 9th race had 16 horses entered in the 9th race with the couplings of the 1A and 2B. 10th race had 16 as well. So, I'm getting by your conversation that you have an abundance of scratches. Why don't you tell us the horses that are left in the race, not the scratches?
Well, the 9th race actually still stays intact. I think you have about 8 horses left out of the 14.
Go ahead and give us the scratches then. Yeah.
Okay, scratch the entire 1 entry, Reticle and Set, scratch the 2B, Rabaja, scratch the 3, Seaver, scratch the 4, Baron of Sealand, scratch the 5, Slap in the Face, scratch the 9, Laurel Valley, and scratch the 10, Born Dancer. The rest of them go. The good news there is that they had 4 MTOs that all stayed in the race. So that kept the field intact. The problem was the 10th race. This race got totally decimated. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to a 5-horse field. You could scratch 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, and my original radio play number 16, Jerry's Out, has now been scratched.
So Jerry is out.
Leaving a 5-horse field, correct.
All right. So Jerry is out, and you have to make an alternate pick. Again, right. Scratch numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, and 16, correct?
Correct.
All right, that's the last 2 races. They were the big fields there, and I would think that the rest of the races should be pretty much intact.
Well, not the 4th race. They're down to a 4-horse field, so they decimated the card. It happens when you get these rain. The bad news is when horses are entered for MTO, why would they scratch? If the races come off, that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem right.
And that is exactly the case for your horse in the 10th race. The horse that you had originally picked was a main track only. The race went to the main track. They still scratched them. Let's do this for the purposes of our listeners out there. And I know they're saying, why don't you just tell them, why don't you give us just the numbers of the scratches in the 4th race?
Okay, the 4th race, here we go. Scratch 1, 1A, 2, 2B, 3, 4, 6, 7, 11, and 12. So again, 2 MTOs came out of that, the 11 and 12, leaving a field of 4. The 5, 8, 9, and 10 remain. Everyone else is gone.
Oh, man. Well, thank goodness that only affects the early pick 4, a pick 3, a rolling double, and the early pick 5. But it doesn't affect the pick 6. In pick 6 races now, because we might as well give them the rest. From the 5th race out, what else do you have from the 5th to the 8th, if you have any?
The 5th race is clean. The 6th race, take out the 1 British Invasion part of the entry.
Okay.
The 7th race, take out the 5 Spirited Boss. The 8th race, take out the 5 Kilmet Master and the 8 World Fair. And I think we did the rest. Did we do the 9th?
Yes, we did.
The 9th.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Okay, so those are the
have them all.
Those are the scratches as we have them right now. A public service for all the folks out there that are trying to handicap their pick 6 today with that big carryover. Of course, the feature race is the Coronation Cup, and now just a field of 9. Scratch the 5 Spirited Boss. who a lot of people liked in that race. They like the Spirited Boss, but the favorite is going to be Make Haste with the Mr. Hot Flavian Pratt aboard.
That's the 7th race. By the way, they have 3 MTOs left in there. They're at 8, 9, and 10, and I'm sure they're coming out.
Now the MTOs are 8, 9, and 10.
Are MTOs there, so they'll be coming out. That'll leave a field of 6 after the late scratch of the 5.
Right. I want to remind everybody that the 8, You'll Be Back, is the 7 to 5 morning line favorite, but that was MTO only. I'm assuming that that's going to come out.
Yeah, there's no more rain today.
Right.
They're done, and they should have scratched them, but they didn't yet.
But now, let me ask you this. If, that's main track only, so they don't have the option of running on the turf then, if it's main track only.
Correct. You're entered to run if the race comes off the turf.
All right. So then we go back to Flavian Pratt being on the favorite at 2 to 1, Make Haste.
Yeah, for Miguel Clement. I like the number 3 horse in there, Chloe. Jose D'Angelo sends out this horse who ran very well at Saratoga back on June 8th over this turf course. Well, actually, that race was rained off, so I take that back. Mm-hmm. But this horse is better on the turf than she is on the dirt. But the interesting price play in there, Ralph, would be number 2, Italian Soiree. This horse is listed at way too big a price of 12 to 1. I like the rider switch today to Luis Saez, and I think that horse has a shot of upsetting at a big price, and it's part of the pick 6. So you may want to include a horse like that.
I would venture to say, though, with all those scratches, that he probably won't hold 12 to 1. It might be half of that.
Well, there's only really one scratch, because the other scratches will be the MTOs.
Okay, all right.
The only real scratch is the 5.
All right, let's make them 10 to 1 at post time. How about that? Nevertheless, Italian Soiree is the key long shot in that race, and that would help out in the pick 6. Looking over this pick 6, if you would have to say, okay, I'm going to pare down my ticket, I need a singleton, where would that be if there is one there?
Well, I guess I would look at the 4-horse field in the 10th race and narrow it down. Probably the 10, soon to be king, would be a single for me for George Weaver, who got off to a good start yesterday, winning 2 races. So that's probably my single.
All right, soon to be king is the number 15 in that race, by the way. So that horse was expected to get in if it went to the main track, and it does. All right. Well, your horse that your original pick was scratched. So what are we doing now for your radio?
We'll look at the 5th race today, first leg of the pick 6, and I like the number 1 horse in here, Always Practical, a 3-year-old filly who was claimed by trainer Linda Rice back at Churchill on May 22nd. She ran the horse once at Churchill, and now she brings this horse to New York. The interesting thing is she's been dropping these horses off a cliff. She claimed the horse for, I think, 62,000, ran it back for 17.
Yeah.
But this one she claimed for 50 and actually steps up to 100. So that certainly shows us that she likes this horse. Jose Lascano aboard to ride, 7 to 2 on the morning line. I like number 1, Always Practical, today's 5th race, first leg of the pick 6.
All right. So we're going to start the pick 6, 5th race. And like I said, a very competitive 6-horse field. But you like the 1, Always Practical, for all the reasons you just stated, the 1, Always Practical in the 5th race to start out the pick 6. And that's about it. I think we don't have any more picks for me because there's no more tracks. You're doing 1 track, and that's Saratoga, right?
Well, I did Monmouth also. On the weekends, I do Monmouth also to give players another option in case it rains and cards get decimated. So they have something else to do.
All right. So you got 2 sheets today. You got Saratoga and Monmouth. And stay dry there, as I know you will, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
You got it, my man. All right, we'll go to a break, and when we come back, Rich Eng is next up, and Rich will give us his pick. And I will also have a pick for you from Woodbine Clocker today. Don't go away.
Here we are in Houston, opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that is going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risks their lives and they're struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We're also building what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space, and give them back some of their dignity, some of their independence, and most certainly give them back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Now time to go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, Richie, it was an eventful day yesterday at Saratoga, that's for sure. And the folks that were betting the favorites kind of had a hard time yesterday.
Yeah, I heard you open the show talking about how the favorites had a comical, chaotic day one at Saratoga. And every day is not going to be like that at Saratoga. But I tell you what, now in day two, we get like 8 million scratches. So it's, I've taken a look at some of the comments by the posters, and they talk about the fact that when Del Mar opens next week, you will not get the weather changes. You will not get the number of scratches. Del Mar obviously is fast and firm more often than not. So I'm looking forward to Del Mar opening the next Friday.
You know, Richie, I could say this, though. At Del Mar, if we're going to get any scratches, it'll probably be from the HISA folks, in the morning, more than any of the trainers or the weather conditions, that's for sure. But in any case, we know that your selections for Del Mar will resume in a week from today when Del Mar opens. But in the meantime, you're doing a sheet that covers picks, around the country at different racetracks.
Yeah, it's a simulcast sheet, Ralph. And, at the bottom of my Southern California sheet, I usually put one horse as the simulcast play of the day. Well, when I do handicapping on a daily basis, I actually have a long laundry list of horses that I'm interested in. Yesterday was a prime example, Ralph. I had 14 horses listed on the sheet. Many of them were grass horses, turf only. 5 of those scratched because races were taken off the grass, so I ended up with 9. But I had 4 winners and 3 seconds, so there was a chance to make some money utilizing some of those horses, and whether you bet straight or use them in exotics.
Yep, and time to get another winner from you off of that sheet today. Where are we going?
Yeah, I got 13 more today, but I already noticed 3 are scratches due to off the turf.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to race number 7 at Woodbine.
Okay.
In fact, I can't wait for the Woodbine clocker. If it's Ernie Perry, I tell you what, folks, Ernie is very, very good. And I follow him on X and Twitter. He puts a couple of horses out there, too.
Mm-hmm.
But Woodbine 7, 6.5 furlongs on the grass. I noticed on one of the posters said they're off the turf at Woodbine, but it doesn't matter with the horse number 4, Sharif Ali, because this horse, usually when they come off the turf at Woodbine, they go to the Tapeta, which is not such a bad thing.
Yeah.
This horse has a really good Tapeta resume for Mark Cassie. 10-1 in the morning line. I'm pretty sure you won't get that, but even if you get half of it, 5 or 6-1, that's okay by me. Number 4, Sharif Ali in the 7th.
All right, 7th race, number 4, Sharif Ali, off the turf. It'll be on the synthetic track now. The 7th race, the 4, Sharif Ali, for all the reasons you just stated. And for the Clocker report, we go to the 5th race. So we might be able to do a rolling pick 3, single to all to single, with 7 in the middle of the pick 3 in the 6th race. There's only 7 there, so the dollar pick 3 it cost you $7. But in the 5th race, Clocker likes number 9, Silver Raleigh. Silver Raleigh with the Munger aboard. Says this horse is training well and moves up in class, but he thinks that the coming up in class is something that, is a positive for this horse. So this horse has been training well in the morning, moves up in class. 5th race, the 9, Silver Raleigh. So the pick 3, I guess, and the 5th race would be the 9. The 6th race would be an all, which is 7 horses deep. And the 7th race would be your 4 horse there. So we'll wait and see there north of the border at Woodbine. And, of course, you can get the rest of Richie's Simo sheet today at the RacedayLasVegas.com websites. All right, Richie, any comment at all of what you saw yesterday at Saratoga?
No, not really, other than the fact that, the race that I had in was the race that endorsed the heavy favorite, stumbled out of the gate through the rider, and that actually destroyed the chances of my horse because that was the other Pletcher who was either going to be on the lead or very close. Ended up the pace was so slow, my horse never had a chance because they kind of cantered around the track. But, I'll take a look and see if I want to play that horse back or not.
All right, you got it, Richie, and if you do, let us know. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, you got it, my man. Yeah, if you're going to, bet that horse back, want to know about it, that's for sure. In any case, as they continue to train in the morning around the country with the race tracks around the country, we'll be back with our closing act. John and Jerry, don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos. Join us for one of our biggest nights of the year, California Breeders' Champions Night on July 26th, with a full night of stakes action, with the Governor's Cup Futurity led by the super talented filly, French Valley, plus top qualifier, El Dictator. The Governor's Cup Derby will have a lineup of accomplished runners, plus the ageless Cattail Cove could also be in action. It's the track of sunsets and stars, Los Alamitos Racecourse, California Breeders' Champions Night.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Friday Race Day show. Now we're going to go out to Southern California where John Lindo is standing by. And John, 1 week from today, it's where the turf meets the surf. Good morning.
And I will guarantee you there will not be any hail on opening day at Del Mar.
Yes, if there is, there will be a little bit more trouble with Mother Nature than we have been in the past, that's for sure. But anything happened at Saratoga yesterday that you want to comment on?
Well, I thought Flavien Prat announced his presence with authority, winning the first 3 races. Boom, boom, boom. And, he's got a tough task. He won 18 stakes races at Saratoga last summer, but he looks like he's pretty serious right now, and he is really riding well.
He certainly is. And if you watched the first 3 races yesterday at Saratoga, you saw him employ different riding tactics in all 3 races that got him the wins. And it just kind of showcases that, he does his homework and he always puts a horse in a race that has an opportunity in the early going. He puts them in a position where they can win from rather than trying to overcome a lot of things. And some of the horses that he rode yesterday just weren't good enough.
No, but again, it's not for lack of trying or not for lack of preparation. And as a horse player, that's all I want. Give me the best chance. If the horse isn't good enough, we'll try and find another one. But give me a shot. That's all I'm asking.
John, some of the California trainers are venturing out in other places. I see that Richard Baltas it's got a stable, I guess, some horses out at Saratoga. He actually has a filly that's going in, I believe, in the Diana tomorrow. So Baltus has got a little bit of a stable out there at Saratoga, I guess.
Well, we're limited on the amount of Grade 1 races, especially on the turf for fillies and mares. So there's a gap right now between Santa Anita and Del Mar. So he sends out as a Claypool lady, I think is her name, and she got really good at Santa Anita, but she wasn't beating up on tough company. It's a different story tomorrow. She's going to have take her game to an entirely different level to make an impact against those. But she's good right now, and obviously she must be doing well to ship to New York.
Yeah, Lady Claypool is the horse that you were talking about, and all I can say is that I believe that Baltus won with AG Bullet at Saratoga during one of the holiday things there, right?
He won the Grade 1 Jaipur against the boys. She did against the boys in that race. And again, those Grade 1 placings and wins are extremely important for the fillies and mares.
Yeah, no question about that. That's for sure. Well, we know that the Lindo Report will be back in business for Del Mar 1 week from today. But while we're waiting for Del Mar to start, you're taking on Saratoga, and you have a Lindo Report for Saratoga today, covering all the races, the suggested late pick 4, all the goodie information at the bottom. And certainly with the pick 6 carryover, you'll be, having selections obviously in those races as well. The full comprehensive Lindo Report is available right now at the South Point, right here at the South Point Racebook. The only place you can get it in the gaming capital is here at the South Point Racebook, free of charge, complimentary here at the South Point Racebook to the race players because they love race players here at the South Point. I guess the rain overnight, and I guess with the long season yet to come at Saratoga, and that turf course looked just absolutely beautiful yesterday in the races that I saw on there, that they're taking precautions and they're going to save the turf course. So today, with probably a lot of rain that hasn't really soaked in yet to the turf course, they're taking them off the turf. But the main track, they say, is labeled fast.
Well, the main track, if you watched yesterday, was really cuppy and dusty. It needed water. They got it yesterday, and it's going to be in the high 80s at Saratoga today. So I don't think that's a problem. I think it'll be dry and fast, and it's probably a good thing to err on the side of caution with the grass. They ran 20 races during the 4th of July festival on the turf last week.
Yeah.
And you don't want to carve up this course because it's a longer race season at Saratoga this year than ever. You've got to keep that course going through Labor Day.
And it was certainly in good shape yesterday. I know they're probably wanting to keep it as good as they can, and they certainly are doing that with today. All right, well, we've got 10 races, a lot of scratches, John, and so where are we going with the pick?
Let's go to race 6. This is a 2-year-old maiden race, originally scheduled for a mile on the turf. It is now 7 furlongs on the main track. It's a one-turn race, and when I did the handicap, my top selection scratch, and the second choice I have, number 7, Orbit, is the horse I'm going to go to. The radio play I sent you earlier was scratched. So let's go to race number 6, number 7, Orbit, trained well on both dirt and turf. I think this horse will like the 7 furlong trip. And this is the horse I was looking for in case the race came off the grass. So 6-1 on the program. Race number 6, number 7, Orbit at Saratoga.
All right, 6th race, a maiden race for 2-year-olds at 7 furlongs on the main. In the 6th race, you like the 7, Orbit, the 7 in the 6th race, part of that pick 6 with that big carryover, and get the rest, of course, the Lindo Report here at the South Point. John, we'll talk to you tomorrow, and I know you'll be getting ready for Del Mar next week.
Yep, we got a lot to talk about as we go, and we'll be thinking about what's going on with Del Mar. They enter Sunday for opening day at Del Mar.
You got it, John. Thanks a lot.
All right, good luck.
Now we go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. I'll bet you, Jerry, you thought it was some interesting results yesterday at Saratoga.
Well, if you had the power page, the first 5 races, we were geniuses, and the last 5 races, we were idiots. So.
Well, that's okay.
Horse
Horse
racing.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the power pages were right on the mark early in the day, as well as Flavian Pratt, I understand, too. So you guys are doing well. We've got the track is labeled fast today, and as John said, the track looked like it needed some moisture in it anyhow from yesterday. And so what are we looking at today at Saratoga?
Well, you've already mentioned that we're off the turf in, 4 out of the 5 races. I think it's insane. It's terrible. can't make a nice comment about that because they've got 2 race courses. They could put up dogs tomorrow. They could put up rails tomorrow and change the course, and the course could recover. The course is a really, really old, well-made turf course that stands up to racing. I don't get it.
Okay.
We got a nice play in the 5th race today, though.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to go. Always Practical, the 1 horse, 7-2 for Linda Rice. Liscano up. There's a lot of good things about the horse. Shipping in from Churchill Downs. You got to give her a shot. Mm-hmm. She gets some running pretty good. I'll take the 1 over the 2, 3, 4. Do reverses 2, 3, 4 back over the 1. But the 1 in race 5, Always Practical, makes a lot of sense to me.
All right, and it is a good housekeeping seal of handicappers' approval in this race because Jonathan Hardoon came with the same horse. 2 guys looking at it from different perspectives. We get the 1 horse, Always Practical, as a key horse, not only to wrap up the early pick 5 and early pick 4, but to start out the pick 6 with that big carryover. Jerry and John both like the 1 Always Practical. Jerry's link-ups are 2, 3, and 4 and reverse. 5th race, the 1 horse is the key. Don't forget to get the Power Pages. They were really great yesterday. Power Pages available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. Quick thought, Jerry, quick.
Hardoon and I we're probably the most alike in our vision of things.
Okay. Well, I like that vision, and I like for you to say one more thing to bring us off the air today.
Have a great race day, everybody.